my dear friends, welcome back to our channel Best Notes Tutorials. Today is day 3 and today also we are going to continue our preparation for Kendriya Vidyalaya PGT English. We are focusing excessively on literature section through MCQs and I am telling you highlighters also, which is going to confirm that you are going to be successful. So we are trying our level best. We would like to see you being successful. Now without much delay, we will start with our class. And before that, let me announce that there is a free WhatsApp group where we send PDFs and video links which is helpful for the preparation. So let's begin with today's class. Today's class is on Ezra Pound. Question number 1. When was Ezra Pound born? Option A, 8th March 1884. Option B, 12th May 1882. Option C, 23rd August 1889. Option D, 30th October 1885. So the correct answer is option D, 30th October 1885. Let's see the highlighters. Ezra Pound's full name is Ezra Weston Loomis Pound. She was born on 30th October 1885 and died on 1st November 1972. He was an expatriate American poet and critic, a major figure in the early modernist poetry movement, and a fascist collaborator in Italy during World War II. Friends, from this question, there are so many MCQs which can come. Number 1 is about the full name of Ezra Pound. Alright, because in literature we know him because of his short name. So full name is Ezra Weston Loomis Pound. And when she was born, this is the correct year and this is the year when he died. Next, the word which is unique is expatriate. Expatriate means the one who is living in another country, leaving their own. Say for example, we are Indians. So if we go to some other country and leave, we will be regarded as expatriates. So he was an American poet and critic. He has contributed in early modernist poetry movement excessively and he is regarded as a fascist. Fascist means the one who is so firm to their beliefs, who is not flexible at all, who are not able to accept others' point of view. So he was a staunch fascist, and during World War II we have seen this is shown, the quality of fascist is shown during World War II. Highlighter 2. His works include Reposts, which was published in the year 1912. Please remember, Reposts in the year 1912. Next, Hug Selwyn Moberly, which was published in the year 1920. And his 800-page epic poem. Please remember this 800 pages. We feel difficulty in writing a simple poetry, but Ezra Pound had written 800-page epic poem which is the Cantos between 1917 to 1962. During this time frame, he completed the Cantos which was of 800 pages. Number 2. Where was Ezra Pound born? Option A, Clinton. Option B, Haley. Option B, Philadelphia. And option D, Wincote. Right answer is Haley, where Ezra Pound was born. Pound was born in 1885 in a 2-story clapboard house in Haley. They were not rich during that period. Idaho Territory. The only child of Homer Loomis Pound and Isabel Weston, who married in 1884. 1884, parents got married, and 1885, the very next year, Ezra Pound was born. Please remember the date of his birth, year of marriage of his parents. Next important point is the name of the place where he was born and the name of the father and name of mother. My father's name is Homer Loomis Pound and mother's name is Isabel Weston. Question number 3. When did Ezra Pound publish a Loom Spento? A Loom Spento. This is the work of Ezra Pound. When did he publish it? Option A, 1912. Option B, 1908. option C 1906, and option D 1901. Right answer is 1908. Ezra Pound published a Loom Spento in the year 1908. Let's focus on the highlighters. In the summer, he decided to self-publish his first collection of 44 poems in the 72-page A Loom Spento with tapers quenched, 150 copies of which were printed in July 1908. From this highlighter, you will get questions like how many poems were there in the poetic collection of A Loom Spento by Ezra Pound? You must say 44 poems. And pages 72. The title is from the third canto of Dante's Purgatorio, alluding to the death of Manfred, King of Sicily. So this title is taken, the title is here, the Loom Spento is taken from Dante's work, that is Purgatorio, and this is because there was death of king in Sicily. The Sicily is in Italy. Pound dedicated the book to the Philadelphia artist William Brooke Smith, a friend from university who had recently died of tuberculosis. Now see, the book which he published, this was given, a Loom Spento is a homage to his friend William Brooke Smith, and this was because he died because of tuberculosis. So to pay homage, he has written this book for him. A Loom Spento, translated by the author as With Tapers Quenched in a 1908 poetry collection by Ezra Pound. I told you this in another highlighter that it was With Tapers Quenched he dealt for the poetic collection of A Loom Spento. It was self-published in Venice. It was in his first collection. It was his first collection. So you might get question that what is the first self-published poetic collection of Ezra Pound? The answer is A Loom Spento. Which book of Ezra Pound was published in 1910? Your options are Hug Selwyn Mobile, option B ABC of Economics, option C The Spirit of Romance, option D What is Money For? So right answer is option C, The Spirit of Romance. Let's see the highlighters. The Spirit of Romance is a 1910 book of literary criticism by the poet Ezra Pound. It is based on lectures he delivered at the Regent Street Polytechnic in London between 1908 and 1909 and deals with a variety of European literatures. So here, first of all, the writer of The Spirit of Romance is none other than Ezra Pound, and this is the year when it was published. Next important thing, this includes all the delivered lectures that he did at Regent Street Polytechnics in London. And this was done during the time frame of 1908 to 1909. The Spirit of Romance was published by London-based J.M. Dent and Sons upon recommendation from Pound's friend Ernest Rhys. So from this highlighter you might get question that who requested for the publication of The Spirit of Romance to J.M. Dent and Sons. The answer is his friend Ernest Rhys. A 1932 printing saw the addition of an 11th chapter and a completely revised edition followed in 1952. Earlier, there were 10 chapters in this collection, but afterwards, Ezra Pound added one more. Therefore, entire book had to be revised. And this was done in the year 1952. The years are very important, so please focus on those. Though reviews were sparse when the book was first published, The Spirit of Romance has since become an important addition to literary scholarship. So, just like other books of literature, This has also touched the readers, and that is why we see this book touching the heart of the readers till date. The Spirit of Romance was written by Ezra Pound, his first major work of literary criticism. So, Ezra Pound, who was a critic, a poet, he has written his first major work, and this is The Spirit of Romance. In 1908, he left on a self-imposed exile to Europe, passing through Gibraltar, and Venice before settling in London. This exile was self-imposed. It was not done by any authority, but he did it for himself. It was a self-promise. Why did he do? That is uncertain yet. Question number 5. Who as editor of New Age published Ezra Pound's writings? Option A, Clifford Douglas. Option B, Ernest Fenollosa. Option C, Antonio Vivaldi. Option D, Alfred Orage. Right answer is option D, Alfred Orage. Alfred Orage published Ezra Pound's writings in the newspaper New Age. Alfred Richard Orage was born on 22nd January 1873 and died on 6th November 1934, and he was a British influential figure in socialist politics and modernist culture, now best known for editing the magazine The New Age before the First World War. Now see, during First World War, the role of magazine, the role of newspaper was extreme. So whatever they wrote, it had very impactful result or consequence in society. So he had played a key role in that. While he was working as a school teacher in Leeds, he pursued various interests, including Plato, the Independent Labour Party, and Theosophy. In 1900, he met Holbrook Jackson, and 3 years later, they co-founded the Leeds Art Club, which became a center of modernist culture in Britain. Let me tell you, what does Theosophy mean? Theosophy means any doctrine of religious philosophy and mysticism claiming that knowledge of God can be attained through mystical insight. It's a kind of communication with God through superior spirits and physical processes. Question number 6. Where did Ezra Pound move in 1924? Option A, Berlin. Option B, London. Option C, Rapallo. Option D, Chicago. Right answer is option C, Rapallo. And let us see highlighter. Ezra Pound. The Pounds were unhappy in Paris. Dorothy complained about the winters and Ezra's health was poor. At one dinner in the Palace de l'Odéon, a surrealist guest high on drugs had tried to stab Pound in the back. Robert Mcqs had wrestled with the attacker and the guest had managed to leave before the police arrived. These were the reasons because of which Pound family shifted from Paris. Number 1, because of health issues, because of cold winter, and next because of this incident that happened in this hotel. The event underlined that their time in France was over. Now see, because of these two incidences that happened above, Pound realized that no more they can live in France, therefore they shifted. They decided to move to a quieter place, leaving in October 1924 for the seaside town of Rapallo in northern Italy. From France, they shifted to Italy, which they thought to be quieter place. And where exactly in Italy? It's Rapallo. Hemingway wrote in a letter that Pound had indulged in a small nervous breakdown during the packing, leading to 2 days at the American Hospital of Paris in Nelly. Now see, Hemingway, he is another writer. He had written somewhere that because of this incident, nervous breakdown had happened of Pound, and therefore 2 days he had to be in the hospital. Now, another very important point, during this period, the Pounds lived on Dorothy's income, supplemented by dividends from stock she had invested in. So, because of the stocked money which she had invested in the market, she got dividends, and because of these dividends, they survived for the time being till Ezra Pound started earning again. Question number 7. When did Ezra Pound die? Option A, 22nd January 1979. Option B, 10th June 1798. Option C, 11th July 1973. Option D, 1st November 1972. So option D is the right answer, 1st November 1972. This is the date and the year when Ezra Pound left Earth. Highlighter says, on his 87th birthday on 30th October 1972, he was too weak to leave his bedroom. The next night, he was admitted to the San Giovanni e Paolo Civil Hospital in Venice, where he died in his sleep on 1st November of sudden blockage of the intestine. So it shows that Ezra Pound lived in Italy for a number of years, and this was fruitful compared to France. Question number 8. The Cantos. Ezra Pound's masterwork. What does Cantos mean? Option A, coins. Option B, songs. Option C, jewels. Option D, poems. So right answer is option B, songs. Cantos means songs. The Cantos by Ezra Pound is a long, incomplete poem in 116 sections, each of which is a canto. Most of it was written between 1915 to 1962, although much of the early work was abandoned and the early cantos as finally published date from 1922 onwards. So this canto has a numerous collection of songs and it was published gradually. Though it was written between this time frame 1915 to 1962, it was started publishing after 1922. It is a book length work widely considered to be intense and challenging read. Of course, a book which has 116 sections, and in each section there are numerous poetries, so it is a challenging task to complete reading this canto which is written by Ezra Pound. The Cantos is generally considered one of the most significant works of modernist poetry in the 20th century. The canto has earned huge respect to Ezra Pound because this is much significant work of modernist poetry. As in Pound's prose writing, the theme of economics, governance, and culture are integral to the work's content. So he writes about economics, governance, our administrative section, and culture of that place. So because of these important aspects, the book has earned much respect from everyone, the readers and other people, readers of all the ages. The most striking feature of the text to a casual browser is the illusion of Chinese characters as well as quotations in European languages other than English. So these are the things which are unique. Number 1, characters are Chinese and the languages or quotations are non-English. That is, European language quotations are used in this cantos. The section he wrote at the end of the World War II begun while he was interned in American occupied Italy has become known as the Paysan cantos. Please remember, the portion which he wrote after World War II, this is to be known as the Paysan cantos. It was awarded the first Bollingen Prize in 1948. Please remember the prize and the year too. There were many repercussions since this in effect honored a poet who was under indictment for treason. See, friends, people accused Ezra Pound of treasoning his own country. That is, he was expatriated because people thought that he had betrayed his own country, so he was thrown out of that place. So this was not true, but people believed so, so it is mentioned here. Question number 9. This semi-autobiographical poem has a protagonist whose name is Hugh Selwyn. What is it? Option A, Lusignan. Option B, Prufrock. Option C, Gruffydd. Option D, Mobley. So right answer is option D, Mobley. This is Mobley, who is the protagonist in the semi-autobiographical work, that is Hugh Selwyn. Let's see the highlighters for more points. Hugh Selwyn, Mobley, is a long poem by Ezra Pound, and this was published in the year 1920. It has been regarded as a turning point in Ezra Pound's career, and its completion was swiftly followed by his departure from England. Now after this, he went to England. The name Selwyn might have been an homage to Rhymers Club member Selwyn Image. So the poetry that he had written might be a homage for one of his members, of one of his co-workers. The name and personality of the titular subject are also reminiscent of T.S. Eliot's main character in the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock. So here, titular means the title. Alright, the title name. The title name also reminds T.S. Eliot's this character J. Alfred Prufrock as well. The poem consists of 18 short poems. Please remember, 18 short poems which are grouped in 2 sections. So this might come in MCQ, so please remember this. The first is an autobiography of Ezra Pound himself, as indicated by the title of the first poem, which reads EP. Ezra Pound, EP. Ode por election de sun sepulture. Ezra Pound, ode for the choice of his sepulture. Now see, this is the topic under which he wrote the poetry. The second section introduces us to the struggling poet Mobley's character, career and fate. Readers have been misled by the fact that Pound assigns to every poem a title or alternatively a number. Thus, poem I, EP, Ode por election de sun sepulture, is followed by poem 2 to 5 that are numbered, while poems 6 to 9 are again given individual titles. So this is the way he wrote, and because of his unique structure of the poems, he is known till date. Question number 10. Pound identified with his movement angering his home country. Option A, pacifism. Option B, Nazism. Option C, fascism. And option D, expansionism. Right answer is option C, that is fascism. Let's see highlighters. Ezra Weston Loomis Pound was born on 30th October 1885. This we have discussed, and he died on this date. He was expatriate. Expatriate means to leave one's country, and he was one of the greatest critic and poet of the early modernist poetry movement. He was a fascist. Fascist means one who is very staunch towards their belief. Alright, they believed, it could be religious fascist who believed in religious stubbornness. So this is what we see in Ezra Pound, because of which people misunderstood him. His works include Riposte, which was published in the year 1912, Hugh Selwyn, Mobley, and his 800-page epic poem, The Cantos. Friends, we will wind up today's class here itself. Tomorrow we will come again with 4th day PDF and explanation. Till then, keep preparing for your success. Thank you and all the best to everyone.